Hello everyone, this is Don Swordsman with another installment of How to Win at Nintendo Games. So, you all know I played Ghosts and Goblins, and I thought myself pretty good. You know, I could get to level 4, but in reading or skimming this book, it seems that I'm only a beginner, because I can get to level 4. So, we're going to do a reading. Now, I made the mistake of doing my recording of me playing the game before I did the reading. Let me know if you like that better, or if you'd like me to do the reading and then play the game and see if I get any better, but we'll see. So, here we go. Chapter 11, and I know I'm skipping ahead, I'm not going in order, just because I wanted to do Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins. Type: Horror, Search and Destroy. Objective: Your name is Arthur, and you're a knight! Whilst you are picnicking, that was air quotes by the way, with the princess, a demon swoops from the sky and spirits her away. Hurrying after them, you must pass through 7 gates and fight the devil himself in order to save her. Layout. The screen shows each of 7 stages through which Arthur must pass: the graveyard, the woods, the ghost town, the underground route to the castle, the underworld, and Lucifer's chamber. Arthur moves from side to side or up and down, depending upon the phase of the gameplay. Arthur comes equipped with armor, a weapon, usually a javelin, 3 lives, and the ability to leap or crouch. If he jumps from atop a tombstone in the first level, he'll go farther. As he travels, Arthur can exchange his weapon for any other one he finds. If you don't want to make the swap, simply jump over the weapon. These arms are javelins, swords, faster than javelins, axes, crosses, they halt any attack pronto, and torches, which not only burn whatever they touch, but also temporarily create a wall of fire. Many monsters also cart along jars with them. If slain, they leave behind. In them may be armor, a helmet, aka extended, which adds a life. I didn't know that. And a dark time disc increases one's lifespan. I think that means the timer in the game. Finally, whenever Arthur slays a gatekeeper, a key falls from the sky. Retrieve it and it restores armor. Arthur may have lost. It also allows him to proceed to the next level. Sorry. Hero weakness. Being touched by a foe or projectile will cost Arthur his armor. Being touched on or hit a second time costs a life. Falling from a cliff or ledge just once will kill the knight. He can also become a frog. See about your enemies. I've never become a frog in the game, it's interesting. An object that Arthur must avoid is the light time disc. It decreases his lifespan. Now, I don't know which one's which in the game, so. About your enemies. There are countless demons, including zombies, ravens, green monsters that spit fireballs, flying knights, forest ghosts and their spears, and others. The toughest of the monsters is the red devils, which breathe balls of fire. The towering, hopping unicorn, actually a cyclops, the big men, the dragon, Satan, and the 2-mouthed devil, each mouth exhaling death. Also found in numerous places are the magician and the frog king, both of whom will turn Arthur into a frog, whose sole power is hopping. If you happen to toss a fireball at the second tombstone in the first level, the magician will usually appear. The frog will become Arthur after 10 seconds, or when hit by a monster. There are 1- and 2-player games, separate games for alternative players. Oh, that's menu, I'm sorry. Timer. The player has 2 minutes to get through the graveyard, 2 to pass through the woods, 2 to negotiate the first part of the ghost town, 3 to make it through the building of the big men, and so on. The more difficult the level of play, the more time you have. Arthur earns points for scoring. Arthur earns points for killing monsters. From 100 for ravens to 10,000 for the devil. Points are also awarded for finding a magician, and also the Yashashi, a disc-like object worth a substantial 5,000 points. The landscape is always the same, though the monsters vary. For instance, green monsters, ravens, and flying knights are always in the same place. Zombies and forest ghosts pop up in the same general area, but in different places. Weapons are found all over the place. Beginner strategy, and this is what I'm going to read today. Because it's as far as I got, and it takes a while. So, beginner strategy. To begin with, if you open the game with a torch, start over. It may not be sporting, but it's practical. Compared to cold steel, fire is slow and useless. In general, see, they agree with me on the torch. But in my gameplay, I got stuck with the torch for the last bit, and I insist that's why I couldn't beat it. That's what I'm saying. In general, follow this rule. Whatever the level, keep moving. As swiftly as possible, turning to kill monsters behind you only when they're about to strike. Stopping and presenting your back to an enemy in front will invite them to cluster, meaning you have more foes to fight when you continue ahead. The one exception is zombies. It's easy enough to turn and shoot the one undead who is usually lumbering up behind you. If you can't, just outrun it. Zombies quickly sink back into the earth. Climb the ladder to the upper level and kill the green monsters. If you've climbed too slowly, it'll just its aim and shoot at you. Jump its bullets. So you notice in my gameplay, I actually did that. I went up the ladder, even though I said it was better not to. Keep firing. You'll blast the raven while it's still off screen. As soon as you jump the third tombstone on the ridge, shoot the second green monster. Don't bother climbing down. If there are no zombies below, just jump. If you've elected to stay below, you can avoid the projectiles of the first green monster by hugging the tombstone while you shoot zombies. Keep in mind, though, the tombstone, that anytime you crouch, the headstone may block your shot. If it does not, however, impede monsters. When you see the red devil, shoot it. When it rises, plug the raven behind it. Hurry to the left, so the devil will miss you when it dives. When it rises, rush to the right. The devil will then swoop along the ground at you, briefly, but giving you enough time to shoot it. It should take no more than 3 shots to destroy the beast. After you cross the water and reach the woods, 2 or 3 waves of flying knights will come at you. Though you can kill them from behind, their shields protect them from the front. It's best to avoid them altogether. Do so thusly. When you arrive, crouch once in the middle of the tree right before the ledge. The knights will fly by without hurting you. Turn and shoot 1 or 2 if you wish. Rise at once. Cross the small island and crouch again in the clearing between the trees. And the next wave will also pass you by. That's interesting that's so specific. It doesn't seem that way when I'm playing. Hurry ahead. If a third wave comes, crouch at the next tree in front of you. When the knights are gone, race ahead shooting. This will take care of the green monster. After its death, forest ghosts will materialize. As with the zombies, continue ahead as fast as possible, shooting the specters in front, turning to fire at low-flying ones if they're on your trail. When you get good, you can jump and shoot them, front and back, but this slows you down and invites more than a deadly cluster. The later ghosts start chucking spears. The later ghosts start chucking spears both vertically and horizontally. When you reach the unicorn, that's the Cyclops thing. I don't know why they call them unicorns, but shoot at it instantly. The big guy will toss fireballs and leap high into the air. Duck the flaming death, run under the unicorn's feet. Stand at the far right and fire to your left. The giant will die relatively quickly. Catch the key when it falls. When you go through the gate, wait until the blue demon appears on the right. Hop up onto the next ledge. Just jump in place. Shoot it, then go to the far right of the ledge you're on. Face left, and when the next blue demon drops down at you, shoot it. Jump to the second ledge, then the third. If you run at once to the moving platform, you can get to it before the green monster above you begins to fire. If you choose instead to turn to the left and shoot the third blue demon before leaping onto the moving platform, you'll have to dodge 1 or 2 shots at the green monster above. Ride the platform up, kill the green beast, then take a mighty leap onto the second of the moving platforms. You must jump as far as possible onto the right side of this platform. It will descend very quickly, and if you haven't jumped to shore, it will carry you into the water and your death. This guy's actually pretty crazy about how accurate this all is. It's surprising. It's very surprising. I still can't make it through the ghost town, but upon reaching the first building, you'll see that in the video. I'm probably stuck in the ghost town. I may not be there yet. I don't know. I'll have to cut things and see how it works, but yeah. Upon reaching the first building in the ghost town, wait a second, the time it takes to fire 2 shots of your weapon. There are petite devils ahead who will come at you from the windows. They look more like ghosts. The delay throws them off, allowing Arthur to pass unscathed most of the time. You see I'm doing that in the video. Again, get through quickly, or you'll have to a mess of demons to fight. Leap the water, and hurry up the ladder. In this phase, you must follow a very precise pattern in order to get over and around the walls and block each floor. Shoot the ravens. It usually approaches from the right. Then move an inch to the right and kill the big man there by firing at him repeatedly. Note, if you move more than an inch to the right, the big man on the level above will drop debris square on your head, or square on your noggin. At this point, do one of 2 things. You can run to the wall on the far right, wait until the big man on the other side arrives. I thought he said we had to do precisely one thing. Then shoot him through the wall. He can't reach you, obviously. He can, though. He can fire his things at you. It blows. Debris, I guess it is. Then scurry up the ladder and shoot the big man on the other side of that wall. Don't start shooting and then abort before either monster is dead. It will hurl debris at you. Oh, there you go. Which can pass through you, through the wall. Dun dun dun. I wish it would knock down those walls. The advantage to this attack is when you get to the right side of the mansion, it will be ogre-free. They're ogres? I thought they were just big, fat, nearly naked men. It's sort of gross. Well, then again, I'm hanging out in my underwear with the princess, picnicking. Those were the air quotes again. Alright, where was I? Bad news is that you have to fight your way through the big men. Oh, wait. Yeah, the big men who will have used this time to herd to your left. Thus, I favor a different approach. Ooh. After climbing the first ladder and killing the big man to your right, go past him to the last ladder before the wall. Ascend, go left, and climb the first ladder you encounter. You're now on the 4th floor. Go right. You will have had to fight 2 big men along the way, but your ascent will have been so rapid they won't have had time to get too close. Thus, you'll have more than enough time to kill them. On the 4th floor, turn right. Go down the last ladder to the 3rd floor and kill the big man here. He and the next one you must fight are the monsters you would have killed had you shot through the walls when you first arrived. However, dispatching them is so easy, I do not agree, that killing them first simply isn't worth all the other troubles it brings. There's plenty of time to shoot the big man here. Be prepared, though, for a raven attack. If, however, the giant is waiting for you at the foot of the ladder, simply pace the floor above, to the end of the screen if necessary, until he detects your presence and is lured away. After you've killed this big man, descend the ladder to the second floor, repeat the procedure if necessary. Again, watch out for ravens. There's no monster on the first floor, leaving you free to continue. Nail the ravens that attack your head from the moving walkway. The key is getting through this phase. The key to getting through this phase is to jump as soon as you reach the platforms. I don't necessarily do that. For example, if you don't get to the initial set of walkways before they rise for the first time, you'll have a raven to battle. Don't think, just jump as soon as you get there. Jump off just as quickly. Don't be afraid, you can leap as far down as you want. As long as you land on solid ground. Yeah. When you get skillful at this level, you can actually leap over the second of the two walkways in each set. Upon reaching the twin unicorns, cyclopses, that guard the next gate, shoot at the first of them, then get under its feet when it jumps. Face left and kill it, ducking the fireball of the second, who is on your right. When the first dies, shoot at the second one before he leaps. If you can't get under it when it jumps, face left and destroy it. Yeah, I could have probably done better at that. So the next section is called Advanced Strategy. Yeah, it talks about the next level. And I don't know if, yeah, I'm not going to read Advanced Strategy. I'm going to try and get to that next level, and since I'm playing on the emulator, save state, and play from there. That may be in the future, a while in the future. But if you want to hear me read this, please encourage me. I'm going to skip ahead to where it says par. So the next section, par. This tends to be a relatively low-scoring game, especially if you choose to race ahead of zombies, forest ghosts, petite devils, etc., without killing them. A moderate killing spree will earn you 7,000 to 10,000 points per stage. This is Graveyard Woods, Blue Devil Ghost Town, Big Ben Building, etc. NES Advantage. So that's the turboing of your weapons is very useful. Okay, so basically it just lets you use one button and it makes you constantly fire weapons. I think I never used the NES Advantage. Training tips. Believe it or not, most of the basic skills you'll need can be honed in just the graveyard and the forest levels. Stay there and take chances. Learn what Arthur can do. Go to the forest ghosts and let them haunt you en masse. If you can shoot them all down, you're going to give the devil a run for his money. If you have the advantage, go through the game at least once in slow. If you're really ambitious, hop right to the latter levels and try your skills there. Well, I guess the advantage can take you to later levels? Huh. You can do this by manipulating the controls as follows. When the title screen comes on at the beginning, jab the B button 3 times, while simultaneously pressing the controller to the right. Tap the controller on the up side, let it go. Then hit the B button 3 more times. Press the controller left, lift your finger, hit the B button 3 times, press the controller down. Lift your finger, hit B button 3 more times, then tap start. After the life number indicator appears, the screen will read, Stage 1, A. Use the A button to advance to the phase of play you want. if you go too far, back up with using the B button. Note, this code has been published elsewhere with erroneous discretion. This is the correct way to input it. Oh my god, there's a code to Ghosts and Goblins. I didn't read this far when I did my skim. Okay, so at some point, once I get this code working, mind you, I'm probably going to invest in a USB controller or a USB connector so I can use my Nintendo, the Nintendo 2 or whatever it's called. It has a special controller that has round edges. It's super comfortable. Well, I say super comfortable. It's not square. It doesn't dig into your hands. So, yeah. Once I get that, I'll probably read the advanced section and do some gameplay. So, I'm going to finish reading this, and then, you know, you guys will just have to wait and see what the later levels are like. But you've probably all got there yourselves, but it's weird. I never, ever knew, and mind you, I've played this on Nintendo for years, and I never bothered to look up if there's any codes. I like how the only code is to get you to later levels. Not infinite lives, not, you know, any of the other stuff. Power overwhelming, you know, any of those references you'll get. Rating. An extremely difficult game. Requires unprecedented coordination. Ghosts and Goblins is not for beginners. At times, like the 900th time you try and get through the big man building, it's as much fun as having your gums tattooed. Ew. But you can't say you didn't get your money's worth. Challenge. A+. Graphics. B+, I agree. Sound effects. B. I would have given them a B-. Well, okay, games at the time. B. Yeah, that makes sense, so. It's funny, I've been watching, Sips from the Yogscast play Game Dev Tycoon, and I actually downloaded the demo, and so them giving it a rating is sort of like what you find in that game, so it's interesting. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me messing around and getting a little farther in Ghosts and Goblins and still failing terribly. And I hope you enjoyed the reading of How to Win at Nintendo Games. I'm sorry if the sound quality of my voice is off. I'm not feeling the best. Probably should have mentioned it at the beginning. That's why I delayed doing the reading and did the recording first. But, you know, I hope you enjoy. And please let me know if you want me to do more of this. If I get no responses, I'll probably just do it slower, because I do want to play more Just Read, and Mario is Missing is always sort of fun. Sort of, not really, but, you know. So, yeah. Please let me know. And I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, favorite, all that fun stuff. It really does help. I know everyone tells you that, but it really does. So, I will bid you adieu. And I will talk to you guys later. You know, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Alright, I've rambled enough. Goodbye.